Hey guys, hi, welcome to my channel. I am an ENTP and I wanted to talk about ESTPs. ESTPs are by far one of my they're my favorite type. Without a doubt, if I was another type, I would want to be an ESTP. I like ESTPs just in general. I don't know, they have this vibe, they're cool. I feel like ESTP is the stereotypical, like, I'm gonna go party kind of dude, which very true from the people that I know were ESTPs. So an ESTP example would be Joe Rogan. But what I'm here to talk about is how god flippin' great ESTPs are. I just love them. I feel like if I could just be any other type, I would either be an ESTP or an ENTJ. Let's talk a little bit more about ESTPs, right? Why is it that I like ESTPs so much? The one reason that I think ESTPs are so great is because, just by the way, I was doing a math problem and I got completely distracted, and suddenly I was like, you know what? I should write a list about why I like ESTPs. So that was just, classic NE at play. But yeah, ESTPs. Why do I like ESTPs so much? The first thing I've written is raffish charm. There's just something about ESTPs. There's this ruggedness, I guess, but they're not the prim and proper type. They're not the things are supposed to be this way kind of a type. Being able to be adaptable, which is something that's common between ESTPs and ENTPs. I think we're very flexible with schedules and adaptable flexible with schedules because we have plenty of those. But yeah, ESTPs are probably just going to be more organized than ENTPs in general. But why I like ESTPs so much is because being able to adapt to things and being fun. Okay, this is gonna sound rude to some other types, but I just feel like ESTPs are so much fun. Talk to them about anything, even if it's some sort of an intuitive topic. I feel like they're still gonna have some insight to provide because of the SC. And what I like about ESTPs so much is that when the SC and the NE are together, it's really interesting because the SC is going on tangents and they're let's do this, and they're gonna actually be doing it. A really good example of that is so I have this one friend, sure, yeah, why not? So I've known him for the last 3 years or so, and basically get fit. I don't know how to explain it. Well, he was always fit, but he had this idea to do this thing on a regular basis, and he's not really the kind of person who's very committed or not very if I give you my word, you have my word. But I feel like that's kind of a kind of embodiment of an ESTP, because an ESTP will truly show you who they are. What I mean to say is through their actions, and I think that's very SE. I'm having a little trouble explaining this, but so an ESTP is basically, he loves sports, right? And he fixed himself up in a way that everybody else could tell that he loves sports. So basically he just got really fit, and I think he exercises every other day. And I'm not talking go for a run. It's I think he's really flippin' intense, into it. And it's something that he doesn't particularly talk about in public, but you can see it, and that's something that I appreciate. That it's ESTPs know how to do their shit, which is what I admire so much about them. Because okay, so I feel like an ENTP would think about something and then just think about it over and over and over again and just evaluate it. Or they'll start a project and then they'll move on to a different project and then they'll move on to a different project. An ESTP, however, will start a project and stick to it until they are satisfied with it. Not until they like get bored, but they're like, well, did I get the result that I really wanted to? And if they do, then they're like, okay, now I can move on. Now I've made my point. And that's why I think like the combination of SE and NE are so good together, because SE is also like, what's even better about SE is that they're just, you know, you're a sensor, and that's always a perk in this society. Sorry. Just saying. So what ESTPs are, or I think SE DOMs in general, just are like, well, I've made this decision, and since I've made this decision, I'm gonna stick to it for the rest of my life, or until this gives me as much satisfaction as I can possibly get from it. And that's just like, that's the one super admirable trait that I find of ESTPs in general, because they're sensory and they're SE, and they just like live in the now, which is just a trait that I really think is like, it's like, wow man, I want to live in the now. But also what I like about ESTPs is that don't flip and overanalyze. Like, that's great. They're like, okay, I made up my mind about this, I'm just gonna do this for the rest of my life. And ESTPs, what I like is like how blunt they are. This is, I think, similar to ENTPs. I don't like that ESTPs can sometimes be manipulative, but I just like, the one thing that I liked about ESTPs so much was what I already said, but it's just other things that I like about ESTPs, like they never take life that seriously. They're like almost always goofy. I've never seen like a very, very serious ESTP, you know, like even Joe Rogan, he's a stand-up comedian. So there's also this other ESTP who I really, really liked, but I think it was a she, I don't remember her name. How did I just forget? Anyway, so ESTPs, man, they're cool. Like, I have never seen them like worked up. Well, I have seen them worked up, but I never, like, I know that at the end of the day they'll never take life that seriously. Nothing is that serious, which again I admire about the ESTPs, because they're like, okay, let's take things one step at a time, let's live in the now. And that is, again, what I really like about ESTPs, is that they're very in the moment. I don't think I've ever seen an ESTP who doesn't know how to enjoy themselves. Like, I know how to enjoy myself, and so do ESTPs. They're like, sure, you know what? ESTPs, I think, can have problems prioritizing. Or, well, they are very, but they do dedicate themselves a lot, so not that much trouble, but they can also have like a little imbalance in prioritizing whatever they want sometimes. So yeah, that's ESTPs for you fellas, and that's why I love ESTPs. I wish I was an ESTP, honestly. Like, I look up to that type so much, and just ESTPs, man. That's my favorite type. As of now, it changes all the time. At one point in time it was ENTJ. Kind of getting over that. But yeah, I think ESTPs are dope. They're really cool. And it's for these reasons.